Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Rush coming to you from the Lionheart Academy channel. Present to you the beautiful estate of Buena Vista. And I'm taking the evening scenery from Buena Vista Community Club. And as some of you would know, that Buena Vista Community Club has been the home of Ashihara Karate in Singapore for the last 8, probably 10 years in fact. I don't quite remember. And as a lot of us in Singapore could relate to, we have been on the phase 2 heightened alert for about a month, I think, whereby no intense activities that involves taking out of the face mask were allowed for that one whole month. So a lot of the classes in the community club had to be cancelled, and at least for us, we had to move to online classes, right? So as of early last week, the ban or the suspension have been lifted, and we are finally back in Buena Vista for our weekly practice. So I'd like to start off this video with a big thank you for tuning in to the first series in our channel called Practical Karate, where we compare our approaches between traditional karate and modern karate when it comes to commonly seen techniques in martial arts, karate, self-defense, and whatnot. So your support truly means a lot for us, because these are the things that we do in our spare time, and these are the kind of content that we believe would be valuable, or if not entertaining at least, for those of you who are tuning in. With the Haymaker episode coming to an end, this particular video is pretty much what we call a post-credits commentary, where we take the discussion a little bit further beyond just the physical technique. If you remember, in part 1, we spoke about briefly that the Haymaker as a physical move, it is more commonly associated to physical altercations, or in our common terms, street fight, right? Because in our perception, the Haymaker is characterized as a physical move that involves a big looping motion that happens suddenly out of nowhere. In this series of Practical Karate, we talk about, how to respond against this technique, how to respond against that technique, so on and so forth. And I just want to share with you that all of these things where we respond to this and that, they are basically karate appreciation that we do in the dojo, for our own entertainment, for our own enrichment, in order to enjoy karate. However, when it comes to real life, please do not look for the Haymaker, do not look for the straight punch, do not look for the front kick, because in real life, when those physical moves finally come to you, perhaps it's a little bit too late. This is the point that I want to bring out also when we produce contents like this. Understand that in real life, a fight is totally avoidable. Totally means 100%. When we talk about physical altercations, okay, it is usually what we term as social violence. Social violence basically involves 2 words, right? Social generally refers to your interaction with other human beings, and violence, contrary to popular belief, it is not simply just physical assault. It can also be non-physical assaults, in terms of insults, in terms of taunting, in terms of threats, things that make you believe that you're in genuine threat, physical or not. Those can be considered as violence, okay? And therefore, when we talk about social violence, it refers to the violence that is inflicted to you or inflicted to other people because that somebody else has a lesson to teach you, that somebody else feel that they have something to prove. And that is also true for yourself. If you happen to be involved in a fight with somebody else, if you really look into it in your mind, it's probably because you have an ego that you don't wish to put down, because you believe that if you put that ego down, it puts you on a different status as compared to the other person. Basically, you have something to prove. Or you don't want to back down from a fight because you believe that if you do that, the next time round, that person will do it to somebody else. So you feel the responsibility to teach that person a lesson, okay? And if you ever reflect all of the fights that you have been into, or all of the fights that you have witnessed in real life, the physical assault, more often than not, comes at the very last of the situation. It comes as a result of escalating violence. Probably the situation started off with an argument between two people, or between you and a number of other people, and that argument escalated to insults to each other, insults to your family member, your significant other, and whatnot. And if that does not get resolved, that verbal violence get escalated to physical violence in the form of, your chest puffing up, and eventually you start shoving each other to back down or to move away from your so-called territory. And finally, after that episode of escalated physical violence, out of nowhere, the haymaker would come in, or the straight punch would come in, or the front kick would come in, okay? But more often than not, probably the haymaker would come in, okay? And when I paint to you this picture, all right, this whole pattern of escalating violence, it's all so familiar to a lot of us who have experienced a fight before. It is a result of an escalating violence. And you see that there are more than one opportunity for you to de-escalate the violence before it gets to physical assault, right? You could have de-escalated at a point where the argument took place. You could have de-escalated where the insults happened. Even before the physical shoving happened, you could have backed down. Or even when the physical shoving had happened, you could have chosen to back down, to simply walk away and not get involved in fisticuffs or punching, basically, okay? So in that sense, I want to put it to you that there are opportunities in a fight where you could have backed down. So what I'm getting at is this: when we go to karate class, more often than not, when we talk about self-defense, instructors would say that, you kick somebody in the groin, you poke somebody in the face, you pull somebody in the ear or the hair. That's self-defense. It's about life and death, okay? But it is not as simple as that. Self-defense is not without rules. There are rules to self-defense, contrary to popular belief. And those rules are based on the statutes or the laws of the country. There are situations where you can defend yourself. There are situations in a fight where if you choose to fight, it is not called self-defense. So know how to make the distinction. It is not self-defense if you did not do everything in your power to not get into a fight when you could have. That's number one. Number two, it is also not self-defense when you did not do everything in your power to report to the authorities whenever you have the opportunities to. And if you keep to it, it is quite possible for you to be doing karate and end up landing in jail or incurring a fine. And through this commentary, I want to differentiate or distinguish to you the difference between two situations. The first situation is known as social violence, where I painted to you. And the other situation is what we often refer to as life and death situation. And in those situations, if the guy truly has a threat on your life and on your property, logically speaking, he wouldn't want to give you a lot of opportunities to resist anyway, unless it's back planning. And if those situations happen to occur to you, by all means, please defend yourself. But if you recognize it to be social violence, right, and you get to choose to get involved in a fight anyway, understand that it is not self-defense. I want to end off the video with this. As karate practitioners, as people who enjoy karate, karate is not just a physical skill where we talk about punches, kicks, blocks, footwork, and whatnot. Karate is also about a way of thinking, a way of having the right spirit. And as much as we exercise our bodies for battle, for a fight, it is equally important to exercise your mind to know how to not get involved in a fight. Can you speak to somebody in order to de-escalate a situation instead of fighting? Can you behave or act in a way every day that prevents you from getting into situations that could result in a fight? I believe those things that are non-physical are equally as important in your karate training. So what do you think about this opinion? Do you believe that fights in real life are 100% avoidable, as I've shared with you before? Have you been in a fight? Have you witnessed a fight? Let us know in the comment box down below. And all of this will be part of our learning together as a community as we explore karate a bit more, going just beyond the physical skill, but of course the skill of the mind and spirit also. This has been Rush for the Lionheart Academy channel. I hope you have enjoyed our second episode on the Haymaker, and with this I hope you can enjoy karate more.